Bow wow.
We are Some Dogs. Welcome to DogStar.
Each week we sit down with a star of the hip-hop and R&B world, and this week we are sitting down with the one and only Ashley DuBose.
Hello.
How are you? Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, my pleasure.
To sit down with us and talk with us a little bit. We've got a lot to go over today, so we might as well jump right in.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. You wear a lot of hats.
Yes. One of them being that I'm a mother.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sebastian over here.
What up? Holding it down. We appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming through and making the time, because I can't imagine how busy you are. I mean, the music catalog alone, I would have figured that you were hard to get a hold of, but momming and real estating from what we were talking about before the show, and lifing.
Yeah, well, let's start from the beginning. We gleamed a bio or two in our research and know that music has been really, really important in your life from an early age.
Mm-hmm.
Does that come from having a musical family, or just a family that had great taste in music?
Well, I think it just innately, I gravitated towards music.
Okay.
Like some kids, like even my son, he'll like hear something, he'll start dancing. It was just something that moved me. So when I was listening to music growing up, like really it was mainly pop radio, Christian alternative, and some gospel. It's like an interesting hodgepodge.
A good blend.
Good blend, I think so. I would just sing along to the songs on the radio. And eventually when my mom found out that I liked to sing, or that I could sing, she would have me sing for people. Like, and that was around maybe 13, 14 years old.
Just at like Sunday gatherings or family stuff. Everywhere. Supermarket, school.
She would put me on the spot all the time.
This is Ashley. She loves to sing.
Day.
Boom.
This is my sister. She was on The Voice. My sister. Just my daughter. She was on The Voice. Ashley, come here. Like, and she'll show them like videos, and sometimes she'll be like, sing for them. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm 34. But
right.
Here I am about to sing for you because my mom told me to. So, yeah.
That's huge. I mean, it sounds like she's still a huge supporter of you to this day. Yes.
Big supporter. Very proud of me, and always happy to share and promote my music.
Yeah.
And, you know, she does it out of, obviously, a great place, but I'm always like, don't, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm really shy. Like, it makes me uncomfortable to talk about myself or brag about myself out of the context of a stage or an interview.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, we might run into some issues. This next hour is about to be all about,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, what are the odds to have a mom that's like the part that you don't have? Like the I don't know, throw you out there. Yeah,
she encourages, she pushes me to do it, because I do say that a lot. Like, if it wasn't for her encouraging me to sing in front of people and get out of that, get me out of my comfort zone, where I didn't want to sing in front of people, I probably would never be doing it for a living, which I do now. So, or it's one of my things that I do for a living now. So.
Definitely. How did that path evolve for you? You grew up in Minnesota, right? In St. Paul?
Yep. I was born in Philadelphia.
Oh,
my mom moved here when I was 3, so I was raised here.
Right.
Raised in St. Paul on the west side. Then I moved. I went to school for a little bit in St. Peter at Gustavus Adolphus College. Then I moved back home with my mom when I got pregnant with my first child, my daughter, who just turned 14 on Sunday.
Whoa.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Midway St. Paul for a period of time. Then I went on to The Voice. When I came back from The Voice, I had the opportunity to move into an art loft. Art space. So I lived at the Jackson Flats in Northeast Minneapolis for 9 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was such a blessing, and it was a great community. I did not want to leave. I probably wouldn't have left, except for I got back with my daughter's dad. We had another child, Sebastian, and then he's like, we need to buy a house. Like, we can't be in a 2-bedroom apartment. So I finally left and bought a house in North Minneapolis. So now I'm a Northsider.
Whoa. Was part of that house buying kind of what got you into the realty?
Yeah, so back when, so I always, I would dip my toe in to the home buying process. I would get pre-approved, and then I wouldn't go all the way. Like, it's a lot of steps, right?
Interesting.
So finally, I met with a realtor, a broker, Sebastian's just throwing all kinds of stuff, so y'all probably hear him.
He's a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Number one
great.
fan, exactly.
I met with the broker. She said your first house should be a duplex. I would encourage you to get a duplex as your first house, your first property. And basically the reasoning behind that is because you can rent out one unit and you get into the property paying as little as 3.5% down. Certain loan products have different requirements, but you can put less down. It's your first property. It's going to cost more than a single family, but you're going to have that rental income coming in to help you cover the mortgage, build equity quicker, etc. And then your second, you only have to live in it for a year or so, then your second home, if you want, can be a more, ideal single family, whatever you. But she encouraged me to do that.
Rent out both of the duplex if it's still part of your portfolio. Right.
That's an important part of that. Is like, if you want to, hopefully you do, hang on to that house that you bought, duplex, rent out both. Now that income qualifies you. It counts towards your income for your next mortgage. Now, if you're like me, your second house is going to be another duplex because now it's like, okay, I got the hang of this.
I see the game,
I see how this works. So that's when I started digging more into this idea of building wealth through real estate. And was listening to a bunch of podcasts and gurus, or if you will, like social media gurus and stuff. Julian Gordon he runs the multifamily movement. I signed up for his teaching, like his program or whatever. I skipped a bunch of steps, and they always say don't skip steps, and I'm just like too anxious, and I'm like, I just want to get to it. I don't have time to be going through like 30 modules. I need to just, I feel like I understand it. So long story short, after purchasing, I purchased my first duplex, my third was my single family in North Minneapolis. And then right after that, I bought a third duplex in North Minneapolis. That's like 3 minutes from my house.
Oh, perfect.
Sweet.
So it just happened that I was like, once I started looking, I never stopped looking. I kept the notifications on. And then I said, okay, worked with some great realtors, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I know how to do their job. I just don't have the access that they have to the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. I should know.
Service system.
System something. Yeah. Okay, MLS. So basically that, you can see all the properties on the market, coming on the market, expired. You can see past listings of the same property, see what it looked like before when it was sold, how much it was sold for, all this, right? And that just helps with like digging into valuing a property and like knowing what to offer and like knowing how much. Anyway, it's just like I really geeked out about it. So I was really into it, and I said, I can do this. Why am I, I could be getting a realtor fee.
Exactly.
And I was like, I know I'm going to continue doing this. Let me get my license. Sebastian. Okay, good. He threw the last cup. He can't throw any more cups. I said, why don't I do it? Why don't I get my license so next time I buy or sell, I can get the seller agent or buyer agent fee.
Right.
And so now I'm a realtor because I got my license.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And plus, you could probably help other people avoid like the weird steps that you had with past realtors and stuff like that.
That too. Going through that process as a buyer, you learn what you like about ways people do things as an agent. And now I'm like, okay, I know what to do and what not to do because I know what I appreciated and didn't appreciate about my experience. So
nice.
And that's another thing. I want to help first-time home buyers especially get into their first home. And I'm always going to encourage them to get a multifamily.
Nice.
So, that's really smart.
Yeah, using your life experience really to help move forward because probably direct sales, it would take that confidence and you're, a star of the stage. So
I get social anxiety. I think like the best of us, the rest of us, or maybe some of us. But I think that is a big hump to get over. So when I already have that experience, getting over that hump of like getting in front of people and talking in front of people, then I'm just like that much better positioned to excel in a career that requires me to talk to people.
Totally. Yeah, let's take it back then. Way back to your mom's making you sing for people. Did she put you in any classes or make you join any choirs or anything like that?
She didn't make me. I did sing in church a few times. I was in the choir when I was younger, even before like I was like singing solo because she found out I could sing type thing. I was in the choir before. Yeah, I never took lessons or anything. I learned the flute. I mean, she encouraged us to learn an instrument just because it's like good for, I guess, development and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But she never made me like take voice lessons or anything.
That's nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In that era, were there any, I mean, again, from a few bios we read, and from what you said earlier, a lot of pop, solo artists, pop groups. Any music videos that stood out to you while you continued to pursue that singing?
Oh, I loved, like, when I used to watch MTV, like, in VH1, and like Aaliyah, Are You That Somebody?
Okay.
That sticks out in my mind. I love the Backstreet Boys. They're what is I can't think of the name of it, but it's like that epic, there you are, wild and free, reaching out like you needed me. Y'all gonna act like y'all don't know Backstreet Boys?
He's a bigger Backstreet Boys fan than I am.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
I'll be the one. I'll be the one. Anyway, like there's.
What was the music video, or was it just
the music video? Was like them. I think them on stage, and like their fans was just going crazy over them, and like nice. I felt it because I was a Backstreet Boys fan. I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, just fangirling out in front of my TV with my neighbor friend, and so it was just like a very impactful, like, nostalgic. I haven't watched it in decades.
Those guys got it.
Did it fuel, was the passion for singing in and of itself, or did you look at those music videos and say, I want to be on that stage, I want to be...
Britney Spears performing, I remember like there's like a core memory. My memory's really bad, but the things that do stick out, they're probably just because they had like the biggest impact on me. You want to get out? Okay. There you go.
Oh.
Okay.
He's aiming it up.
I think it was her performance where she had the snake on her.
Oh.
And like, but anyway, just in general. What should we do? Should we pause? Or should we?
I made, for listeners, her child is reaching out, not in too much agony or distress, but...
wild and free.
Yeah, soothe.
Reaching out like you needed me.
Backstreet Boys fan?
Yes.
You good now?
Exactly.
Okay.
Just a little attention.
So like, Britney Spears, as far as performing, like I remember that performance gave me a feeling of, I want to do that. Like I want to be on stage and like sing, and like, I don't know what it was about it that appealed to me. Was it the music? Was it because she looked just so cool,
right,
and like everybody's like,
yeah.
I'm like, I want to be a famous singer. But
or was it the snake? You just wanted to wear a snake?
Nope, that wasn't the part. No. But yeah, and like Destiny's Child, I was a big Destiny's Child fan. I knew all their lyrics and ad libs and everything, and so the musicality of like R&B, 90s R&B and pop, that really grabbed me, and I don't know, maybe that's what like I connected with musically.
Yeah.
Because even to this day, when I write like songs like "Boy Crazy" or "Ride" or "Relax," like I have this '90s like stamp like in my
yeah. We're falling in love every
DNA,
summer. Yeah,
you know,
it's
so,
good.
Yeah.
What up, buddy?
Yeah.
Did you were you writing early on, like writing your own songs, or when did that start? When did that first?
Yeah, I was writing in my room around 10, 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I was coming up with monikers for myself, like Lil Chica and Ty Lee, and I was working on my autograph and everything.
Oh, practicing the autograph?
Yep.
Okay.
I wrote a song called Toca La Guitarra.
And is that song just lost to time, or you haven't recorded it yet?
I'm never gonna record it.
Oh,
Crazy.
okay.
Like I came across my songbook years ago, and I don't have them anymore because I was like in a phase where I'm just like, why am I holding on to this junk? And it was like, it was so whack. I'm like, oh, even years ago, I'm writing about boys. Like, when is that going to change?
So you didn't like ceremonially burn them or anything, but you got rid of them.
I ceremonially put it in the trash.
Okay.
But and to this day, I'm like, do I feel bad about that? But like the feeling of, I think when I threw it away, I was in a frustrated state of mind. I was like, I've been writing about the same thing, like writing about boys, or like I had also this what is the word? Like this utopia.
Epiphany?
No, like where you see like you want to like change the world through your music, or like speak wisdom and
I guess try and make
good.
a utopic society. You're on track.
Yeah, and I was like, I just felt frustrated. Like I'm still like 20 years later doing the same thing with my music, writing about guys, like trying to like spread some kind of wisdom and good in the world through my music. And I don't know if that was just like a negative voice talking, or it could have been both. Yeah. I was just frustrated, maybe in like not a good place mentally, and I was like, this is garbage, and I threw it away.
There's definitely some freedom in not having your old work. I don't know if you've ever had like a hard drive crash or a computer crash, and it's...
No, but I have a phone that I know if I ever charged it up, there's like a bunch of voice notes on there, and like I have like probably 500 plus voice notes, just ideas and stuff. Right. And sometimes I'm like, I want to just do away with it because I don't want the pressure of not finishing it.
Yeah.
Because if it's there, then it's there for me to finish or not finish. But if it's not there, so a hard drive crashing sounds like a great problem to have. But no, I can imagine the feeling that you're talking about, like not having...
a little freer.
Yeah, buddy.
What's up? Well, we got like a minute and 30 seconds left. We should probably run down all the social medias.
Oh, yeah.
For everybody listening, it's Ashley DuBose on Instagram, ASHLEYDUBOSE. Is it that on everything pretty much?
Yeah, except for like, okay, I used to have a Twitter. I deleted that. It was at Ashley DuBose, so that's no longer around. But if you go to AshleyDuBose.com,
right,
AshleyDuBose.com,
some slight variances. You just click on the icon like YouTube.
Or, perfect.
And it'll take you right there.
I think my Snapchat might be linked there too.
Okay.
AshleyDuBose.com. It's superstar status. Yeah. She's got it figured out. You know it's the same on all the platforms as well.
Singer, writer, real estate developer, realtor, or real estate agent?
Realtor.
Ooh, okay, excellent.
I'm with the association.
Hey.
Mother, philanthropist.
Slid in being on The Voice like it isn't anything, but
we're definitely gonna have to talk about that at least briefly after the break. I'm a little curious, at least about the process.
On Team Adam, for anybody who loves that show.
A little something.
Right, exactly. But yeah, we want to thank you guys for your time. We'll be back after the break. Follow us, DogStar Podcast. Check us out, Spotify if you're watching, or maybe try watching if you're listening on Spotify.
Check it out on YouTube.
We do this every week, and thank you guys for watching. So I'm kind of 5 seconds left, but DogStar Podcast, and we will be right back
with Ashley DuBose.
Bow wow.
Welcome back to DogStar.
We are sitting down with Ashley DuBose and Sebastian. We are her really cute kid over here. I don't think you can see it on camera, but
we've been kind of bouncing around, talking a little bit about real estate development, talking a little bit about the early days of songwriting and singing. I wanted to ask specifically, we mentioned before the break, about your experience with The Voice, the American version of The Voice.
Yeah. It was a great experience. I auditioned in 2013.
Okay.
Let me make sure I got the...
And was that like I'm not too familiar with the specifics of the program, so was that a regional audition, or was that you flew to another location?
They actually came here, so they cast for 2 seasons a year.
Okay.
And they casted for season 4 in St. Paul, and I went and I auditioned for the show when they were here in St. Paul, and it was like on a whim because somebody was like, Ashley, The Voice is in town. It was fairly new at that time.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of it. And I'm like, well, my sister has a graduation party that day. I might not be able to do it, but we'll see. Well, as I was getting ready and I was on my way to where my sister, her graduation party was happening, it was actually on the way it was on the west side, and I was coming from like Midway area. So for those who are familiar with St. Paul, basically I had to pass downtown, which is where the auditions were happening at the River Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the River Center. So then I was like, well, I might as well stop in and like, shoot my shot or whatever. And it was a really, really hot day, and the line had just got inside the building, so I didn't even have to wait in the heat.
Whoa.
I got a talking to by one of the bodyguards because I brought my child, not that child, but my other child. I'm always bringing my babies places.
Hey, good
and
luck.
Because I have to.
And were you a fan of the program? You said it was relatively new at the time.
It was new. I was a fan as in like I would tune in every now and then, and I appreciated the show. I wasn't like an avid watcher where I knew what time and what day it came on. I think it was like Mondays at 7.
Okay.
I eventually found out. But like anyway, I don't do anything regimented. Like I'm a go with the flow wherever I land kind of person. So every now and then I would land on the show on TV and I would watch it, and I would be thoroughly entertained, obviously, because I'm a singer and like hearing all these great artists, and like they don't do what American Idol does. They don't air people to make fun of them. Like everybody on the show is very talented and deserves to be heard, and seen.
I love that.
So like it was very entertaining for me. So yes, in short, I was a fan of the show.
Okay.
That's cool.
And being a fan of the show, did you hear through the show or through 10 people in your life, hey, they're coming to St. Paul or they're coming to the Twin Cities, you got to audition? How did you find out about it?
That's a good question. Kelly told me about it. So she was a fan of Ashley Gold, who's a local artist, and we were both, Ashley Gold and I were both performing in this showcase. I can't remember what the details of it were, but she met me there. She was like, I came for Ashley Gold, but now like I'm a fan of you too. And so she followed me on Instagram. We followed each other on Facebook or whatever, friended each other on Facebook. She wrote me on Facebook and told me that they're coming. So she was the one who told me.
Nice.
And I was like, I didn't even know about it. I don't know how they advertised it or what. But like, nobody else knew about it apparently, or nobody else told me but her. So Kelly Wicks is her name, actually. It just popped in my mind. She's so dope. Like she's she's such a beautiful and sweet person. And she's supported me ever since she met me. So anyway, so I stopped in, get a talking to from the bodyguard. I call my brother. I'm like, hey, I'm auditioning for The Voice. Can you come pick Cameron up? Cameron's my daughter.
Okay.
And so he came and picked her up. And then like I spent the next few hours auditioning for The Voice, and then eventually made it late to my sister's graduation party. I never asked her how she felt about that. Actually, in this moment, that just popped in my head. Like, did that offend her? Anyway, so I got to the next round, but then that round, all of this being pre-televised. They do a lot of like, weeding or whatever, pre-televised auditions. Then I didn't get the call back to come out to California and audition for the executives. So, but I still felt good about that audition process. So when I found out they were going to be auditioning in Chicago, I'm like, that's close enough. I could hop on a plane or drive, whatever. I want to try my, my luck again. So went through that process. There's a lot of details that I'm like leaving out just for the sake of time. But basically, this time I was like, let me email them and see if they'll let me like not budge, but like advance to the round at which I was eliminated before. So I don't have to do all that because it's like, y'all already know y'all want to let me to this round. So I'm going to start at this round.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I sent the email to the casting director, and then I sent the email to info@NBC The Voice, like which is like the general email. And the casting director email person, whoever I emailed there, got back to me, was like, sorry, you're going to have to start from the beginning like everybody else. And then the info@NBC The Voice, somebody responded from theirs, and they were like, hey, I'll see what I can do. And the next thing you know, they were like, hey, so I got you an appointment audition. I'm like, yes.
Wow.
So I didn't have to like start from the very beginning where you're like waiting all day and everything. Yeah. So I was able to like advance to the next round. I owe you a lint roller.
Those sheets stay right off.
Yeah.
But that's so interesting to hear that it wasn't just like the first try. That's what I would have assumed when you started the story, that it was boom, in St. Paul. What do you think was different between when you auditioned? Like, did you level up? Like, what was the...
what happened, and I like skimmed over that because I was trying to be brief in my storytelling. I love to tell every detail of every
I'm curious.
thing. Okay, so the first, the first round, if you will, like the cattle call, I went in, I sang Killing Me Softly by the Fugees, which is a song that I've been singing since I was very little, like 7 years old, like when it was on the radio, whenever that was, 1996, 1995, something like that.
I wouldn't have been allowed to listen to
that album came over. You said you weren't allowed to listen.
I would have been too young to listen to that on the radio. I would have been Radio Disney and stuff.
I feel you.
Yeah.
My mom wouldn't even let us watch Disney Channel. She thought Disney was too risque sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. So, but anyway, I sang that song, and then the lady was like, I was the only one out of the 10 people in the room that got through. She said, but one thing I will say is that song is a little outdated. We want to hear something more current. I'm like, girl, if you don't know, this is a classic. Okay. I didn't say that. I'm like, okay.
Right,
so I took her advice and went back to the drawing board. And then I picked 3 songs. I think it was Diamonds by Rihanna was one of them.
Okay.
I might have done Killing Me Softly again. No, it was Killing Me Softly again. Long story short, I had like 3 songs. And they said this time you can, for the callback, you can bring an accompanist or you could play an instrument if you play one. Or you can have a track. So since I don't play an instrument, I had my friend Omid Hutter on guitar, and then I also played a track. So Killing Me Softly starts off with a low bass line. So I had the track going, and we were going to both come in singing and playing to the track. Well, guess what? The vocalist, me, is the first thing you hear. So there's the low bass line and then vocal. So I came in on the wrong note because I didn't hear the bass line. And so I'm in the wrong key. Omid knows the key of the song. So I can't remember if he was matching me, like, to support what I was doing, or if he was matching the track. And then, like, I was trying to ease my way to get in sync with the track and Omid. But long story short, it took like half the song for me to finally get there. And I knew what it was
the
like. The
problem was,
it's in my head. I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm like, gosh, I'm like trying to fix this. And finally I get on and I'm like, okay, we're smooth sailing now. Yeah. And then like the other songs that I sang went well. I just can't remember what they were. So I was like, okay, that was a little rocky, but I feel good about it. Yeah. So then they advanced me to the next round of that day, which is the interview. So you go in a room and they ask you these questions, they videotape you interview. Then they send you off with instructions on the next steps, which is pretty much wait for a month. If you hear back from us by a month from now, then you've made it to the next round. If not, sorry, but thank you. So the month came and went, and I had hope up to the very end. So then when I didn't get the call, I was like, oh, it probably was that hiccup, because everything else I felt went pretty good. So then the next time, that's what gave me like the confidence to go again. I was like, I felt overall good. It was like, I know what the mess up was. It wasn't that I didn't have the chops or anything like that. I'm not tone deaf. It was just like, I know what the mess up was. Right. So I felt capable.
Yeah.
Where in the timeline did Something More drop? Was that before or after the Chicago audition? I would assume before.
Something More, I think, was before. It was 2013?
2012.
2012.
Yep. And then I did Something More acoustic, which I dropped right before the show, because before I signed the contracts and stuff, I wanted to put some content out to give more content, because I knew I was going to be on a national stage. So I was like, I need to put more stuff out. But the contracts were written such that, like, if you dropped anything during the show or like during being under contract, they have ownership of it.
UMG would own it. Right. And then, Something More acoustic dropped July of 2013 again, right before. Right before we signed those contracts. So, so I was already performing and recording before The Voice, which I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I was in KMOJ, one of the local radio stations, for those who don't know, but y'all know about KMOJ. They playing my music since like 2011 when I was collaborating with Mike Dreams. A lot.
But so I had a little bit of a buzz in the cities just based off of my performances and radio play and things like that, and collaborating with Mike Dreams, singing on his albums, and he was really active in the city, so his fan base knew me and stuff like that. It wasn't like a whole lot, but it was more than just I woke up one day and auditioned for The Voice and then decided to start doing music. So, were some of the artists within the network you met through working with Mike Dreams, some of the producers or people who helped engineer the Something More album or Something More acoustic? Exactly. Yeah. Did you know that? Or
no, I'm trying to connect the dots between
how you
my
ended up in the studio.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I worked with Mike on a few of his songs. Like I'm on 3 of his projects.
Do you remember
4,
how you
actually,
met?
now.
him?
I met Mike through their dad. So I met their dad in high school.
Okay.
No, I met him. Yeah, I met him in high school. And I didn't start dating him till I was a freshman. So after I graduated, a year after I met him, I started dating him because he reached out to me on some music stuff. And I performed in a talent show not talent show, it was a
Open mic?
Christmas fundraiser show. Like, it was to raise money and they were like giving the money to some charitable cause
for college, for Gustavus stuff. Or?
No, this is at Central High School where I graduated from. So he used to go to Central. Then he transferred out and I transferred in. So we weren't even attending the school at the same time, but he came back because he was a part of a rap group called Midwest Mafia.
Okay.
And they had a name in the school and they were coming back to perform in the talent show.
That's awesome.
A separate talent show. This is when I met him. So then the show that I did later for him was something he organized with maybe some others. I can't remember all the details. Cool. But he asked me if I would sing. Wow. And then so after that, we all hung out and went to like Perkins or something. And like he texted me and was like, hey, can we go on a date sometime? And so that's how we started, dating. So yeah, I was 18 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 19 when I got pregnant with my daughter. And then, so anyway, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I did a song called We'll Be All Right with My Dreams. Or it was his song. I sang on the chorus. And Following Dreams. Which one was first? I don't know, but it was Following Dreams, We'll Be All Right. Those were the first two songs that I did with him. And then he introduced me to, well, naturally, when I came in to record one of the songs, I met his producer. And then I told him, hey, do you mind giving me like your producer's information so I can make some of my own music sometime? Because I've been wanting to do this. And like, I'm ready to like really do it. Because I think when I became a parent, there might have been a little bit of that, oh, my music dreams are over type of thing. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to like press forward and like go for it anyway. Wow. So I told him in so many words, like, I'm ready to like finally like do this for myself as an artist and have my own music out. And I was like, I have some songs that I've written and stuff. So he connected me with Wisdom, who is the producer that we were working with on the song. I can't remember which one was
first,
but it was like one of the songs that I recorded with him. And then I remember the conversation and I was telling Wiz, like, Wiz is his name for short. I'm like, I got some stuff, and I sent him some really, I mean, you kind of got to embrace the journey. Let me not like speak negatively about the humble beginnings. Like, but I sent him some stuff that I had recorded and I said, I have more where that came from. And then, and basically he was like, okay, this is enough to warrant me to work with you, like, cool, like, let's work. So we would be in his basement just recording and having fun. And then his producer, who they were roommates and they had a Studio A, Studio B. So I guess Studio B was upstairs in his room. And the Studio A was downstairs in the basement. That was like the decked out, like with posters of Tupac and like all the greats and everything. It was such a vibe. So one day his producer roommate, whatever, came downstairs and he had already played me some music that he was working on with some kids.
Okay.
Because he worked at the YMCA and he did a music program where he would work with the youth and they would write their own songs. Cool. And I'm like, this is really good. Like the beats were hard. Like I couldn't believe this was like kids writing this stuff or like recording this stuff. So when I saw him, he came down to like get some clothes from the laundry room, which was down in the basement. And it was like, it was like a moment. And I was like, that's the guy, And I'm like, it's so good to meet you. And he was so smiley and like jolly. And his name is JT. His name was JT. What do you want, buddy? You want to talk too? But you don't know the story.
Not yet.
You don't know the story. So anyway. So I told him, I'm like, oh, I've, heard your music and stuff. I think you're so great. It'd be dope to work with you sometime. Yeah. So that story, I mean, obviously there's so many details, but the long story short is that I ended up recording something more with JT. Sweet. Not with Wiz, because Wiz was busy. What? You can't.
He really wants to talk.
He wants to talk. Okay, you want to tell them what happened? Tell them the story? Okay.
Stealing the show.
All right. So tell them what happened. Okay. And then, so Wiz was busy working with his artist, Fly Henderson. And Fly Henderson, also rest his soul, he left us in 2012, like right, I think before or right after I dropped my album, actually. So it was like really important that he spent that time. Because at first I felt the way, because I wanted both of them to work on my album, but I felt like kind of jealous because I'm like, he's working with this guy, he doesn't believe in me or whatever. I started out working with Wiz. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a second because you're doing too much. Doing too much.
It's okay. We're taking a break. We're taking a break in 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So basically, everything happens for a reason, and we made a great, first project. I feel really good about it. I've gotten really great feedback on my first album. Some people like it better than my second.
Ooh.
And, Fly Henderson was able to complete his project, which, was really beautiful. And it was like, if you're going to leave, you want to leave something like a beautiful body of work, and to be able to complete that before he left, was important. So in retrospect, glad it happened that way.
Yeah, it worked out the way it had to.
And JT also produced BU, and Wiz was the executive producer that helped us give the finishing listening ear and touches on the album. And we also collaborated with a bunch of other producer friends of JT's. What
a great music family to start out with.
And
That's
JT
awesome.
just DJ'd my brother's wedding last weekend. So small
keeping
world,
them close.
Right?
I like that.
You guys off. We'll be right back. Bow wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're sitting down with Ashley DuBose, working our way through the timeline, behind the curtain, in and out of the brain. We appreciate you sitting down with us again. And this is our final segment. We've taken up a lot of your time already, so we've got things to run through.
Exactly. I just want to talk about your discography.
We had mentioned something more, the acoustic version,
right? Which
again you were saying dropped right before the voice performances, or the voice released of the performances,
right?
And then it looks like the voice put on your performances from the show onto Spotify.
Right.
Diamonds and Just a Fool.
Right.
Yes. Those are two songs. Diamonds was my audition song.
Right.
And then Just a Fool was my battle song.
That's sweet.
How did you narrow it down to Just a Fool, or was
they
that...
They gave me the song.
Really? Okay.
They gave us the song. So me and Justin Blake, who's the other singer who I was in the battle round with. So Just a Fool is by Christina Aguilera and Blake Shelton.
Okay.
Naturally they wanted to probably highlight that song because it features the stars of their show.
Right.
And it's a really good song too. And I'm a, pop singer, R&B singer, and he's a country singer. So it was like a perfect battle song for the two of us.
Totally.
That's awesome.
After that, sorry, continue.
So I wanted to ask, they get all that money? Or do you get...
That's a good question.
I didn't mean to...
Don't mean to get too in the weeds about it.
But if I knew, I would tell you. But to be honest, that was 10 years ago. Right. And I don't remember what the contract said. And frankly, I don't care.
But you're not getting checks from UMG every other week for
not noticeable checks.
Right.
If they are checks, they're $5 and change checks because I get those sometimes. So.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know where they're coming from. Right. Like it all comes into funnels through the digital spin system, whatever.
Right.
You get like a half of a penny per spin, and then it adds up to little chump change. And every now and then you get $20 in the mail, and it's like, it's nice.
After that, you'd release the song Perfect, as well as Ride, featuring Rocky Diamonds as a single leading up to Be You.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. Again, that was an album that came out in 2015. Mm-hmm. Not a departure, but almost a polishing of what we've heard from the project and the acoustic version of the project before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you felt that you were on another level after The Voice? Did you feel a momentum, or had this project been written years in advance?
It wasn't written years in advance. It did take me about a year. Like the songs that were on the project were written within about a year to a year and some change, maybe a year and 4 months, because it was supposed to come out in November, but it got pushed, and then we finally released it in May of 2023.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I definitely wanted to make this a maturation like of Ashley DuBose, the artist. I felt like I had a beautiful project with something more. I think people thought maybe I didn't want to pigeonhole myself in like any specific genre. I think people thought I was a gospel artist, which is okay. I mean, you can think whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But I didn't want to get. I had the feeling of I got to be careful what I put out because people think I'm a gospel artist. So if I talk about this or talk about that, then it's going to be like out of character for people who think they know me as a person from this album that I put out before. So like there was a little bit of that, but then it was also like I want this album to like sound competitive with like any other great song that you can hear on the radio. Yeah. So like we definitely, the whole team, everybody that put their creativity into this project, like really was trying to make a statement with this album. Like, okay, we know what we're doing. We're like serious about this. And we want to deliver great quality music. Yeah. So that was the goal. And I think we did that for sure. I have had people tell me that they prefer something more over BU, which I'm like, that's great. Like, I'm like, for you to feel that way and for me to feel the way that I already do about BU, and then know that when I listen to something more, I feel like I can hear the youth. I can hear the youngness,
relevance
of my voice, of the mixing quality, and because both myself and JT, Jimmy Easy, the producer, we both grown and developed on this process. So for them to still like prefer it over the new one, it was just a testament to how great the first one was. True. Regardless of the fact that it was a first project, and it was we were a little less experienced when we put it out. So it's like win-win.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Definitely check out BU.
Yeah, that's the album that Intoxicated is off of. I know that's it's a banger for me for sure.
That one.
It's a good Friday night track.
It's like, it's like a good morning song. It's a good fall song. When you're in love song. I mean, like, that's how I think of music in seasons. I feel like certain projects and certain songs make me feel like a certain season or a certain emotion. But yeah, I feel like Intoxicated is pretty universal. It has like over 6 million streams on Spotify just alone.
It's out of
so
control.
That one really took off.
Do you think because it took off, that's how local production team Yankee got a hold of it? Or YNKE, how do you pronounce? Ink.
So,
that's
Ink.
my bad.
I know, I'm like, I told him, I'm like, people are going to think y'all call it Yankee. So
that's my B. Sorry, guys.
So no, there are two guys, Lance Conrad and Peter John, who I ended up working with. And I'm sure they like, I can't say I'm sure, but that might have been one of the songs that they were drawn to make a remix to because of how well it did.
Yeah.
But we also put out a joint, a collaborative EP called Back to Reality. Yeah. And then so we released, or we actually did we include Intoxicated, the remix on there?
I don't think the remix was on it, but I consider it,
but it was
to be the 8th track of the album.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like the 8th track, but it's like a one-off or whatever. So they did the remix
And a digital connection, or did you guys know each other through your networks, through your musical networks? I had come in to do a couple reference tracks for them before that. Okay.
Yeah. The guitarist from One Direction, Dan, I forgot his last name. Sorry, Dan, if you're watching this by chance and you're like, what, you don't know my name? But anyway, he was the guitarist from One Direction. He's also a songwriter. So they were working with him and they're like, hey, can you come top line this for us? And not top line it, but like sing the song. So, I made like a small change doing that, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working with like the guitarist from One Direction. This is crazy. Like,
that's awesome.
So, but it was like really good music too. Like they're really good at what they do. So it was exciting and refreshing to work with somebody new with a different sound that I hadn't worked with before.
Totally.
That I haven't like tapped into in myself. So we like combined my neo soul, R&B, pop voice with their like EDM, but not just EDM. I don't know what you would consider their music, but like electronic, like
chill wavy,
house, chill wave,
Great. Take a road trip.
It's just fun to like try different stuff. So that collaboration was an opportunity for me to like tap into it was a little intimidating because I was like, can I write to this? Like, I've never written to music like this. But
That's awesome.
I feel like, for the most part, it worked. I feel like Back to Reality was definitely like a hit from that project. Samsung used it when they released their beats, not beats, but
the ear pod,
the
or
ear beads, the beans or whatever.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And the collaboration continued. You guys released a single. I call it jazz R&B. It could be jazz. I'm not sure.
It's jazz R&B.
In October of 2019, and then in December of 2019,
boom,
holiday album.
Yep.
Yes.
I love that.
Yep.
Gotta keep the music, keep making it,
awesome.
And then right before Christmas, sorry to keep blasting through this Santa Baby, which again I consider to be the sixth track of JOY.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then we have a collaboration. Yeah, exactly.
Doing the Love Tings. Oh, Love Tings
Love
came
Tings
out.
came first.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
June of 2020.
Just loved it.
Remixes
Fell in love with it.
Yeah.
That was
man.
not 3 months later. Dropped those.
Yeah.
That, I guess, maxi single of remixes, radio.
Right. Yep.
And this is all like, normally there's a big gap here with a lot of artists because it was during the pandemic, but you just kept dropping stuff. You got Make Me Black in February
with
of
Rich Lee.
2021.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Boy Crazy, which you brought. That was March 2021.
Yeah.
I love how you guys have like every song in project.
I mean, we try to do our digging. I mean, we're going to keep blasting through them. And we got Michelangelo, which was released as a single, but is also the third track off of Misha, who's a Finnish artist, Gusto EP. I Know Mind in July of 2021. Superstar Dreams Again with Mike Dreams. That was a single as well as the seventh track off of Carefree.
Carlo 6 July, Brad.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
We've got I Wanna Love remix.
More Mike Dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was like a throwback. We hadn't released that one officially with when I Wanna Love music video came out. That's the version we did the music video to, but we just never released that song. That song was never available to listen to anywhere outside of the music video. And he had been telling me to release it, and I didn't release it till he had passed, to be honest. And like that's like a guilty thing surrounding that song that I didn't like release it sooner. But I was a little shy about it because like I haven't released anything in years, and like if I release something and I'm like, hey guys, go check out this song that's been out for a while, it was like my own stinking thinking getting in the way. And then when he passed, I'm like, like our last email correspondence was him like sending me the cover art and like, here, check this out, this is what I made. And so like, yeah, I'm sure he would have liked me to do that while he was here. But
that's all the time we got.
Yeah, we're about to play Love Tings and Boy Crazy. We really want to thank you again for sitting down, and
we have to meet up again.
To talk
more of the story.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Bow wow.
It's been a while. Forgot what it feels like. Remind me of how you stop all the time when you come around me. My world's falling down since you left me stranded here. Wishing I could have saved us, but we've long disappeared in my dreams. I see you again. I'm trying to make sense of this hole you got on my soul. I can't seem to let you go. I just can't let you go. Yeah. And I know that you won't be here for long. It's just what you do to keep me hanging on love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh, love things. Love things. Yeah, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh, my heart still beats for you. The rhythm we used to make love to. All of this time, no other guy has had my attention. Everyone since has gotten the cold shoulder. I can't seem to get over this hurdle. In my dreams, I see you again. I'm trying trying to make sense of this hole you got on my soul. I can't seem to let you go. I just can't let you go. Ooh, love. And I know that you won't be here for long. It's just what you do to keep me hanging on, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh, love things. Love things. Yeah, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh. Sometimes I'm convinced you still love me like you used to do. You text me, and you come through, then you trash me like combo news. I'm stupid, I do this to myself. I need help. Cupid, make a potion to undo this spell I'm under. It's no wonder I still breathe the way I need your love. Come and rescue me, save me from this hell of things. And I know that you won't be here for long. It's just what you do to keep me hanging on, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh, love things. Love things. Yeah, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh. Late night, all the time. I got it back, can't get you off my mind. Sunrise, butterflies, fantasizing about the next time. I play the field cause they let me. I make my rounds when I'm ready. So just play it cool. You know the drill, I don't gotta remind you. It's the way that they talk, it's the dip and they walk. It's the way that I feel different with each one. Cause he got a little and you got a lot, but he got that something that others do not. I must be boy crazy. How much I've been thinking about these boys lately. I must be boy crazy. How much I've been, how much on my mind all the time, and I just can't seem to find a peace of mind. I must be boy crazy. How much I've been thinking about you. Got my heart broken, I can't afford to do that again. Now I got options and they all wanna be more than friends. Yeah, I got no time for that, but I love when they try. I play the field cause they let me. I can't settle down, I ain't ready. It's just I do. It's something about the thrill whenever I choose. It's the way that they talk, it's the dip and they walk. It's the way that I feel different with each one. Cause he got a little and you got a lot, but he got that something that others do not. I must be boy crazy. How much I've been thinking about these boys lately. I must be boy crazy. How much I've been, how much on my